my family was the first generation. Like I was actually born in Punjab. Like when you're a first generation family in a new country with no family, no backing or nothing, DJ. So I had to hide it, especially when I first started. Even when I'm like it was a battle in my house. Like, yeah, I really want to do that. But one, we haven't seen nobody do it, and two, the fears of our parents. Like you had to hit a mission, go to either Vancouver or Toronto just to get or New York just to get good Punjabi music. So I have one shot.
Yeah.
This beat like in front of everybody, and they just went crazy, bro. I don't know how to tell. Like it was nuts. That's what I'm trying to like really get to people to understand is if you really want it, you can get it. Like why are you doubting yourself?
My guest today is a DJ and music producer from Dallas, Texas. He is also the vice president of music label Gifted Music, and he's the head of sound creation on Steel Bangles' debut album. Welcome, Singh Music. How are you doing, brother?
Doing good, family. How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you giving the time. And what I like to do at the beginning of each podcast is basically take a trip down memory lane, as we were sort of talking about just beforehand of what you were like as a kid and growing up and things like that.
Yeah. No problem. Me as a kid, man, I was just really energetic. Like, and just man, whatever kind of like caught my eye or like uh, whatever I'm interested in, I'm gonna get good at. It was just something about me. I don't like I get it. I have a very I guess you could say I have an addictive personality, but I'm not gonna if I like find something that I like, I genuinely like it doesn't matter if someone else doesn't. I'm gonna go do it and I'm gonna get really good at it. So I was just like always getting into new things, man. So just a ball of energy, bro. Like as a young kid, I don't really know how else to tell you. I was hooping. Um, I actually got introduced to music from like my older brothers because we're all 7 years apart. So they're already listening to hip hop at a real well. My young for me, I was like, bro, like as far as I can remember, I was listening to Tupac ever
Yeah.
since. That's just because of my brothers. And then I got into music at an early age too because of my brother. My middle brother was a DJ, so he taught me how to DJ around like 8, and that was like on turntables.
Okay.
So it was just like the essence of music was like kind of always with me. And then by like 14, I used to like. So what it was I used to never have a computer in my life, but then around like 10 or 11, I think, literally like 10 or 11, that's to me, I think that's so late. But around like 10 or 11, I got a computer, and then my neighbor used to make websites.
Okay.
And so he taught me, like he showed me, he's like, yo, I make websites. And I'm like, oh shit. So I got so addicted with that, like I quickly learned how to like start making professional websites and start flipping them, right? And then around like 14, I'm doing my thing. I'm getting bored with this. Uh, my homeboy Amr Sandhu used to be a DJ. Like he's a singer. He
Yeah.
used to be a DJ when he was at a very young age too. And I knew him through Gurdwara since like we were toddlers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he just came up to Gurdwara one day. We were just chatting about it. He's like, bro, I DJ. I was like, what? That's crazy. I was like, I'll make you websites, whatever. I was like, I used to DJ too. I'm trying to get into it. But I was like, I ain't got no turntables no more. He's like, nah, you ain't got to do that. You can do it all on your computer. I was mind blown that there's programs that you can make music, you can mix with. So I started with mixing. So then like then I got back into like actually DJing. Uh Man, so we were like running through Dallas at a real young age, bro. Like I was even hooping, like I was on my basketball team, but I quit my senior year because I was like, this music thing, this is it. Like I could tell because I was already making good money as a DJ,
Oh, fairs.
and then I always wanted to just make my own music. That's how I really started with making my own music. It wasn't like, oh, I want to get famous. It was the fact that I had so much music in my head that I wanted to make. I just wanted to make my own music. I was getting because I did a lot of private events too. I was just getting burnt out playing so much music of like as a DJ when you're like at that time at a young age, I wasn't really necessarily like had a huge style. Actually, that's not true. I did. So I don't know what it really was. Is I was just on no hater shit. I just I just wanted to make my own music because I had so many ideas in my head, and then like I I tried to produce for a while. It didn't really work out because I didn't know what I was doing, bro. Like I just had like I had these ideas. I kind like I knew what sounded good together. I never took any music classes, but I realized that I understood like keys, I understood harmonies and what like sounds good together.
Yeah,
Well, I really knew that was happening in key. I was just sitting there. I was like, man, like, cause I got good at production, but I didn't know any of like
the technical side.
technical
Yeah.
side sound theory. But I mean, then I went back and I learned it all. Like, you get like education is key. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't matter how talented you are. You got to train yourself. So I went back and learned it. I realized I was doing it right, but it just like kind of came naturally to me because I just listened to music so much, and like it's just been a part of my life so much. And then like when I was in college, that's when I really got sick. I was like, because I was making good money as a DJ, but I told myself I had to stop that, stop like, because it was just too much on my plate.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to give up the money. I'm gonna have to give up a lot of things if I really, really want this like big, like as a big, big thing. So that's what I did. And then, I mean, yeah, bro, that's like kind of a wrap up on that. Uh, at the
There's a
end of
lot
the
to
day,
unpack there.
yeah,
There's
there's a
a
lot,
lot.
bro. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, just looking back at it, there's so much I could tell people because there's just so much there because I really lived it. Like, it wasn't like it's not a make believe thing. Like,
Hmm.
I really have been this close to so many big things, and then like a family issue or like my mother getting sick uh, or being hold in the industry or something messes me up and takes me 10 steps back, depression, whatever, like I really been through it. So there's just so much to say. So like I could just go on for days to be
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
with you. But yeah, at the end of the day, in a nutshell, if it wasn't for my brothers, shout out to John, especially the one that's in the middle. Um, I don't know if I like. I don't even know if I'll be the same person. I'll be real with you, man. They had a lot to do with who I am today,
100%.
especially with the music.
Similarly for me, like my brother's 5 years older than me.
Okay.
And so when I was growing up, I got like an early introduction to 50 Cent and G
Yeah, yeah,
Unit
yeah.
and
See,
them
you
sort of
know what
things.
I
So
mean.
yeah,
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 100%
yeah.
can relate.
That's
And
it.
I feel like a lot of happening in general tend to sort of uh, like attract themselves to hip hop when they're growing up. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
I mean, well, like for me, my family was the first generation. Like I was actually born in Punjab,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, literally like after like 15 weeks, we moved to America. But once we moved to America, like when you're a first generation family in a new country with no family, no backing or nothing, like you're gonna like kind of like you're not gonna live in a good neighborhood, right? You're gonna live
Hmm.
in poverty, and you just like you're gonna live in an urban like the hood. Really, to be honest with you, I'm not trying to sound rude or nothing. That's so I grew up in the hood,
Hmm.
especially in the start. Like then we moved out pretty quick in my book, like but like so I would like I just always had like like all my friends listen to hip hop like growing up because like I didn't have like the normal friend circle, and then like so did my brothers, and like they're when they went to school, we didn't listen to pop. Like everyone that was at our schools weren't listening to pop. They listened to hip hop. They listened to rap. They listened to pop, Biggie,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
brothers at least. So then that's what they're gonna listen to at home. And
yeah.
then at the same notion, since I'm a first generation like kid, I was still like deeply rooted into my roots. Like I speak Punjabi at home with
Hmm.
my mom, dad, um, even with my brother sometimes, but more we speak more English. But yeah, like like that's why I was into Punjabi music. That's why I made Punjabi music. That's like my Punjabi's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Like just it is what it is. But the reason why I lean more to like hip hop, drill, like mainstream music, I guess what you would call mainstream versus Punjabi music, is that like it's just me being more truthful to myself. Like like I can make the average Punjabi record or like like a Punjabi record that sounds like a Punjabi record, but it's just not me. Like I like hip hop drums. I like that sound. So like I'm just staying true to my own vision and like
Yeah.
taking my career where I want to take it.
Definitely. But I don't think that's like, I don't think that's uncommon now. I think that that generation of people who were born and brought up in the 90s and early 2000s, they're in their 20s now. Do you know what I mean? So most of them are in a similar position where like you hear half the music coming out of Punjab at the moment is basically hip hop beats but with Punjabi lyrics. Do you know
Yep.
what I mean? So that generation of people who would listen to Pac, Biggie, who listen to 50 Cent, G Unit, is or coming becoming producers now, and it can either be a really hip hop based Punjabi sound or a more like Western hip hop drill sound, but with a tiny bit of Punjabi like in there, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
it's that urban desi sound.
exactly, yeah, yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong when I'm saying this, because these are like my opinions, but I'm not exactly a music expert, and I'm not like in the industry like yourself. So this is just from like a an outside perspective, I guess you could call it. So if I say anything wrong, just
No,
correct
no,
me
you
anytime.
good. You good. Yeah, no, you good, bro.
And going back to like you said like first generation Texas and all that, first generation from India and then being brought up in Texas. I assume because obviously you were 15 weeks old. You said I assume like learning English and Punjabi wasn't difficult because maybe for your brothers it might be because they were 7 years and I guess 14 when they came over.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't really remember. I just from the earliest days, I remember being able to speak both languages.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if it's just because it's been too long for me to remember or
yeah,
what,
yeah.
but yeah, I just remember growing up speaking both languages. It just depended on who I was talking to at the time, and being around like a lot of Punjabi artists and like the start of my career, especially Amr Sandhu, like
Hmm.
me and him like grew up together, and then like doing a lot of Punjabi parties and stuff as a DJ. My Punjabi I feel like got better, and like because I was more submerged into the culture. Like I used to be real close with with just a lot of Punjabi artists, and like that's kind of where I started. But just that's probably like one of the big things that kind of made my Punjabi better. Other
Hmm.
than that, I've always spoke both languages. Just,
Yeah.
but
What is the like Punjabi community like in Dallas? Because you hear about like California and New York and things.
yeah,
But
it's growing. There's a lot of them there. It's just Texas got a lot of like land, bro. It's just real big,
yeah,
so everything is kind of spread out. I mean, it's nowhere near as much as like Cali or Toronto, but it's a good amount, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, a few good vibes here and there. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's growing. A
that's
lot of
good.
a lot of Punjabis from Cali moved there for like the time around like like the early like 2010s, like some
Okay,
yeah, so yeah, it's
fair
fun.
play. I imagine it's like a diverse place though, because it doesn't it like border Mexico and things. Like you hear Texas has got like a quite multicultural sort of vibe to it.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, yes, it's Texas is just Texas, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to explain. I mean, like just it just got its own twang to it. Like it's like a southern state, bro.
hmm,
Uh, there's not too many minorities out there. Like there is, like it's growing a lot. It wasn't like that at the start, but I mean it's growing. Like it's becoming more of a melting pot. It's becoming more like that. But yeah, it's just like its own thing. It's
yeah,
hard to. It's kind of hard. Like you just gotta experience it.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully one day I will. Hopefully one day I can come
Yeah,
over and
bro.
experience
Of
it. Yeah,
course, man. Hey, I'm sitting in London. Who would have
yeah.
thought? Come on, man.
True. That's a melting pot as well. To be fair,
Yeah.
and so you already mentioned like you were listening to like Tupac and Biggie and things in like Western music. But what kind of Punjabi music were you listening to? Like what kind of Punjabi music was playing in the house when you were growing up?
Everything, bro. Like Jyoti Mane, Vilasman, Shinda, Champila, like you name it. Like the legends obviously were playing in my
Yeah.
house. And then I like back in the day, like '90s especially, like there you would as a kid at least, maybe like if I was older it might have been different, but as a kid I didn't know really too much Punjabi music outside of the Punjabi music out here at parties.
Hmm.
So um, like a lot of like straight Bhangra like records were definitely being played at the house more. Like having little cassettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I remember like when I was like 12 or something, I went to Vancouver for the first time, and like back in the day when you used to like there was like Kazaa and all that, but you couldn't get everything off of it. So you'd have to like you had to hit a mission, go to either Vancouver or Toronto just to get, or New York just to get good Punjabi music. So I finally went to Vancouver. I stacked up a whole bunch of CDs and everything. Bro, getting music back in the day was a mission, like
Yeah.
especially Punjabi music. It was mad. World is so
Pre-internet
different.
days.
Yeah, yeah, bro. The internet has changed the game. It's nuts.
Pre DJ Punjab days, especially like DJ Punjab was like savior
Yeah,
growing up.
100%, bro. 100%. That's nuts.
That's the one. And then as you were saying, so your brother got you into DJing. You took a bit of a break, and then Amar Sandhu back in the day used to were homeboys and used to DJ together. And is that how you fully like? I use this phrase a lot, but caught the bug. Is that fair to say? Caught not COVID
Uh,
related. Caught the bug as in like you got
nah.
addicted to
Yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know COVID, no COVID over here.
Yeah.
Nah, like I was just trying to find a way to get back into it, to be honest with you. But I mean, me and Amr are brothers forever. Uh, damn, yeah. But that's kind of like what made me like be able to submerge my life into music again. So Amr was a big key piece and like a big role in it. And yeah, man, like if it wasn't for Amr, who knows, bro? To be honest with you, I was trying to look and find my way. Like I remember I was working at the time too when right when me and Amr had like really linked up. Like I knew him all the time. I didn't know he was a DJ. I remember going to Best Buy and trying to buy like I saw this like it was like a Hercules DJing set. It was like a virtual DJ set.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I just want to get this thing and just like DJ from us. I just missed it so much. And my mom, like my brother, once he had ended like his DJing career, he ended it on a bad note. Like like there's a lot of dirty people in this industry, bro. Like
Mhm.
think like if you gotta know what's good. So he just got screwed over on a lot of shit. Just got hold over, and then he was like, "You're never gonna be a DJ." So I had to hide it, especially when I first started. Even when I'm like, it was a battle in my house because they're like, "Dude, look at what happened to John. Like he only went this to whatever." So, but yeah, like he played a huge role, bro. Like shout out to Amr. Amr's cold vocalist, man. Got a lot of stuff done with Amr that's gonna come out soon. And yeah, man, that's my brother, bro. That's OG. Not a lot of people know that he used to be a DJ. He was a cold DJ.
Yeah.
He's a cold dolly too, bro.
Oh,
Cold. Like him, him and his sister, bro. They're both like his whole family, bro. They're just musically talented. All his sisters sing. He has five sisters, bro. All of them sing. Uh, one of his sisters plays dole, and she's hard. And he played dole too, and he's a hard dolly too, bro. He's just a musical dude, bro. I'll be real with you.
yeah. That's quite sick. Yeah, it's surprising to hear that like your brother had like a bad experience, and then I guess your family just try to protect you then, and so you don't have the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah,
experience. So
yeah.
you had to
But
keep it
when I
had
like
to keep it on the
something,
down
bro,
low. Mm.
you can't stop me. If I want to do something, you really just can't stop me. I'm gonna figure out a way, bro. Once I found out I was gonna start DJing, I gunned down to this place called Big T Bazaar with Ummer. Made fake IDs. I was 14. I had a 25-year-old fake ID. Made no sense. Had no, like, this was not there when I was 14, bro. When I say I was 14, I looked 14. I did not look 25. But luckily, because I was the DJ, it just let me slide. But once we knew we had a plan, we're sitting in good like the Lunger Hall before Lunger like opens up, right? You know how like in my Gurdwara, the Lunger Hall, yeah, every like even Gurdwaras out here, the Lunger Hall is separate. So you know, they
Yeah,
like before like just every kind of party holy done that, you know, afterwards you just chill, or like before you just chilling over there before Lunger happens. So we just just making up a plan, like boom,
making master
we're
plans
gonna
in
do
the
this,
longer haul.
bro. But yeah, basically, bro, we're just cooking up a massive plan, and we just went on with it. Like that was that was the start. Lunger Hall was the start where we got things cooking.
Yeah, and
Um,
you mentioned before as well that you had the decision for like college. College being like that's basically equivalent to university for us, isn't it?
yeah.
What
Yeah, university over like over there too. I just called it college. But
Yeah. So like, is that something that like obviously your family is probably wanting you to go down the college route? What were you gonna study in college as well, actually?
yeah, I got a BBA in economics. Yeah, man, I don't want to admit to it, but the honest truth is, yeah, you know, coming from a brown household where they want you to get a degree,
Yeah.
and then I mean, I wanted it too, but if I'm being real with you, like if you, cause you spend a lot of time in uni, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know how to fucking study it, like properly, to be honest with you, until I went to a uni. I was like, fuck, okay, this is what I gotta do. I used to have to lock myself up in my room and just like really study it. But like it takes a lot of time, bro. I'm sure I could have progressed in parts of my career much faster. But I mean, that's just life, bro. Like you take your own path. Uh, I don't know, like I don't know, like I don't know if I'm pro about going to. Yeah, I mean, it helped me out for sure. Like, definitely makes you smarter. So I think kids should definitely go to university. But I don't know. Like, it's just you kind of got to do what you got to do. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like to give advice about things like going to college. I think that's like a personal thing.
No, 100%, 100%. But you do like obviously the stereotypical thing is that like the immigrant parents who come over, they work tirelessly in manual labor jobs. Like you can understand their perspective
A
of,
hundred percent,
you
bro.
know what I
A
mean? They're
hundred
working
percent.
hard jobs and they want you to
That
go have a formal education and do an easier job sort of thing.
it's it's just like yeah. But what I'm saying, like I'm not disagreeing with that at all because that's how it was for my parents. Like, my mom was educated. But she came over here, you know, she worked a manual job. But like if you have like a plan and you're trying to do something different, that kid probably like I can't say that kid is crazy that wants to like do something like yo no I really think that this other route will work. I'm gonna go push forward with it. Us being minorities, us being first, second generation in a different country, I think we get scared from doing that because it's like, yeah, I really want to do that, but one, we haven't seen nobody do it, and two, the fears of our parents. Like, I'm not saying that our parents are fearing anything, but they're the ones that like, don't do this. Like, go to school, get a decent job, whatever. But that's always not the best route.
Mm-hmm.
And like even from the start, though, the reason why I was able to risk so much and like sacrifice so much and kind of push the boundaries in my life was because I was like I had to deal with a lot of stuff at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
So so even like from the start, I was just up against it. And but like that taught me something. I was like, if I can get through that at this age, like like I might as well just you know risk it and do what I want to do instead. Like like it's
Yeah.
worth the risk type of stuff. Like all my hurdles kind of taught me that. So even like when I was going before going to uni, like I was like DJing heavy. So like I went to JUCO, which is like a junior college in the start.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I just look at it as an easier option
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was DJing heavy. So like I still like kind of live my life before going straight. Like I didn't go straight to a university, but like I just like you're even me. I'm taught like to I'm taught like, oh, education is the way out. I'm not saying education is a bad thing. Even if you don't, just because you don't go to university doesn't mean that you don't need to be educated. No, you gotta like. I'm just
You
saying
gotta
it frees
learn.
up. Yeah,
Even like
it
music,
frees
like as
up
well.
time for you to learn about what you want to learn about.
Mm-hmm.
If you already have a plan, go for that plan. But if you don't like, if like, there's nothing wrong with education at all, bro. Like, quite the opposite. If your plan is education, like, you want to do like a vocational job or something, like you want to be an attorney, etc., then that's your plan. Like, yeah, you should go to school. But if you want to be in something that's completely different and you're just going to school to go to school, take the risk, man. I just say, fuck it, like go spend a year or two and see if you really like if you can really make it through it. And it's all just a process. If you really want it, you can get it. That's what I'm trying to like really get to people to
Mm-hmm.
understand is if you really want it, you can get it. Like why are you doubting yourself? Like you the last person that should be doubting you is yourself.
No, I 100% agree. There was a thing you said before about like the fear of sort of like your parents, but I think it's more like security they want for their children,
Yeah, a hundred
which
percent. Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it.
yeah.
They just want something that's more secure.
But as you said, like it's not even just like you said before actually a good thing like when you don't see anybody else doing it, it's probably
Yeah.
harder to envision it sort of thing. So when you do see somebody who's breaking the mold, I think it's such like a powerful thing for the next generation because then they don't have to go through them sort of like obstacles that
The
perhaps you
power of the
did.
blueprint is real. Like
The
the power
blueprint,
of the
exactly. Yeah,
blueprint is
you've got the
real.
path. Yeah,
Yeah, like 100% the power of the blueprint is real. That's it.
100%.
Like
Could not
once you
agree
find
more.
out how to do something, like it's much easier to find out how to put a model airplane together with the instructions than without them. Like
Yeah.
it's just that simple.
Yeah, yeah. But another thing is like as you said before, like you learned a lot while you were there. So although it isn't actually like what you want to do in terms of music, it's still you still get skill sets from
Yeah, yeah.
that can
That's why
help
it's
you.
a yeah. Like it grew me as a person, and like life is just a bunch of experiences put together.
Yeah.
So that was my experience in life at the time. I've always used it any like wherever I'm at, whatever environment I'm in, I'm gonna use it to my benefit. I'm gonna learn how to take what I have and push towards what I want.
Hmm.
So that's what I did in that situation. And like it gave me time. My university was far enough away from like downtown Dallas and stuff for me to not want to DJ so much, just because I knew I needed to focus on my next task at hand, and then I knew I wanted to start making music more than just DJing. So I just had to kind of, like I said before, like I had to give it up a little bit. Um, and then, but it allowed me to free up time to just be on my own and kind of learn about myself for one, and then two, like kind of shape my mind. And I'm kind of just being vague with it because there's a lot that went into it. Being just like being able to rely on yourself and being in your own environment and like just by yourself. That's when you can really grow. So just being there, yeah, like it just allowed me to kind of disconnect from the world a little bit and like be in this little bubble, um, and and just grow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just took it for that. I just did what I could do in that time. You know, but then again, the same thing. That's why I say that. Like that's why I think that's why I said it before. Like I don't really tell nobody advice on how to live their life. They should live like God gave you a brain. And I don't mean that as in like in a vindictive or mean way, but like you're smart enough to figure out your own decisions. I can just tell you, how my life went and what I took out of it, but everyone is different. So I can't say my experiences are gonna work for you. That's why you gotta make your own choices.
Yeah, no, 100%. The reason I ask is just because I feel like there will be a lot of other people in a similar position, and although they can't copy you because your circumstances and their circumstances will undoubtedly be uniquely different,
Mm.
but if you hear a lot of different perspectives, then you can sort of accumulate your own thoughts from your
That's
surroundings,
it.
sort of thing. Do you know what I
100.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then you get through college, as you say, you've got your economics degree, but then you want to start making music a bit more seriously, should I say?
Yeah, like I think like the last like 2 years or the last year of my uni, I think that's when we had started Amir's debut album because he was my roommate through university too.
Okay.
So that kind of just transitioned into like what I was gonna do after school. Like um, to pass my classes, I had to study. So the only free time that I had was when I was supposed to go hang out with other university kids, like in network.
Yeah.
But I already knew like the people that I needed to know in the industry that I wanted to start working in. So I, that's where I sacrificed my time. Besides from like especially like the last like few years that I was at my university, I was only there for the schooling part. Like I wasn't really kicking it with nobody outside of my circle. I really wasn't wasn't doing shit else but this music thing. To be honest with you, that was the only way that I was gonna work. When we started working on his album, once I graduated, that was kind of let's like push forward with that. Then yeah, that's just kind of just what it parlayed to. And then because I did his album, in a that's really how the way that I met Bangs, like back in like 2015. I think it was 2015 in
Mhm.
LA, which was pretty crazy how that happened.
Yeah. So talk to me through that then. So, and the album, Omar Sandhu's first album, the debut album that you worked on, were you like the sole producer, or was that like a collab of?
Nah, it wasn't. There's a few producers on it, and really like I w- I was not the sole producer on the album by any means. It's just that album like the end result was really really weird. Like I'd rather not talk about it, but I mean, just like the final part of the album, like the final like 4 months or so, maybe even longer than that, were done in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't make that move at the time because my mom got sick. So it was either go to LA and finish the album or do what I can from home and let them, like finish the album in LA. And I had to do that because like there's no way I'm gonna leave my mom when she was sick.
Yeah.
So that just like made shit kind of weird. So that album like kind of ended in a funny way for me at least. But um, I just started beating at my craft even more and more because I was a vocalist at the time. I mean, I'm a vocalist as well. So the only real record that I was on technically, even though I have like the whole album, was a record called 4 a.m. and I just rapped on it. Production wise, like I just like helped out on a lot of records, and yeah, just it's a funny thing, bro. I just rather
Yeah.
not kind of dive into it. It's just weird. But beyond that, what happened was Amr invites me out to LA for like a weekend. He's like, yo, let's get some workout done out here. And let me just introduce you to people, see, like, show you what's going on because it's big out here. I was like, bet, because Dallas, like, there was literally nothing happening at that time in the city, especially for this, like, especially like urban, basic music.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out to LA, and then there's a ton of artists out there. We're all working together, and one of them was was Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
That was originally where I met him, and it's crazy how like we linked up since there's so many artists out there. Like no one, like we're just all like meeting each other for the first time, saying what's up, whatever, whatever. I'm just enjoying my time because I haven't been out in LA in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm chilling. I'm chilling in the studio, and I'm just like enjoying it. Like, yo, this is dope. This is dope. And then they're working on a record, and I don't remember really what happened, but I'm gonna like turn around. He's like, yo, bro, you got that beat that you just made? I literally made this beat about 2 hours before jumping on the plane, and so I have one shot.
Yeah.
It's this beat like in front of everybody, and they just went crazy, bro. I don't know how to tell. Like it was nuts. I ain't never seen them just jump off, and everybody just went walk there like, "Yo, what the fuck? This so hard." And Bang just came straight to me. He's like, "Bro, that was hard." So that beat actually turned out to be the record on Crop Circles. Make it up to you
Okay.
for
Yeah.
Nines is Crop Circles. Yeah, Banks took the beat and like he produced that record. So like that's where me and him originally met.
Mm-hmm.
And we, bro, just like some people are just destined to meet. Like me and him are just similar people, bro. Like we enjoy music and in the same way, and like bro, like that's my brother. So like we just kicked it off from the jump. We started making music right then and there in LA. Then we used to like work through, like he would be back in London, I'll be in Dallas. Like we just FaceTime each other like, yo, do this whatever. And then like I don't know if it's been like a year and a half to, I don't know, COVID's kind of got my mind buzzed.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, you need to like it was after like all the success with crop circles. He's like, bro, you got to come out here. Like, what are you doing in Dallas?
Yeah.
So that's where that started, bro. It's just I was able to build a lot in Dallas because there was nothing there, and I just saw the vision.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to just like be on my ones and just work, 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 work. So when the opportunity came, I just ran with it. Like I did not like it just worked for me because I just had so much already like put into me because I believed in it. I already knew from the start that this is gonna work. I don't know how. Like I had no idea. How did I know that I was just gonna randomly go to LA and meet somebody that's gonna change
Yeah.
the whole course?
But is
But
that what they're saying? It like it's hard work and preparation meets opportunity. Do
that's
you know what I
it.
mean? So
I
you've
have
done the graft, and then you go to LA, and the song that you've made, like from your accumulative knowledge that you've been putting all this work into,
yeah.
has then obviously
That's it.
made this
That's
really
it,
special
bro.
connection.
just boom. It was like that. Yeah. If you're ready for it, life can move for you fast.
Definitely. You got to take every opportunity, like
Yeah.
as they come, definitely. And then you were just kept keeping in contact over time. Were you still making your own music, and he was just helping you, or were you like collaborating while you're in Dallas and he's in London? Or
Nah, yeah. When I was in Dallas, like I was doing both. I was working with him really like until I didn't come here. We had a whole bunch of like music that we worked on together, but it was kind of just sitting there like it was moving, but until I didn't really move here, and at first like I didn't even know I was going to be here for this long. I thought I was going to be here for a couple of months. The first time I flew out here for a week. Ended
yeah.
up staying 3 weeks. I had a job at the time. I just like picked up a job, and then it was just him like for 3 weeks straight convincing me you need to quit your job. And that's what I pretty much did because at that same time, Sidhu had like the record that I did with Sidhu and Amr. That record was done time ago. Like, bro, I have so much music art just in the vault. Like, it's ridiculous.
Hmm.
But I just had so much things, so many like big things going on with me and music. So I ended up just quitting my job, and then I came back here. I thought it was gonna be a couple of months. Ended up being like a few years, pretty much. Now I'm like I'm here for another year. Uh,
So this
man,
was like mid to late 2019.
yeah, 2018, 2019, something like that. Me and Bangs were supposed to go on the Summer 16 tour 2016. I remember that. I wasn't able to make that. Bangs did go on it though. But yeah, like ever since 2015 when me and him linked together, we just been we just been close. Like we've been homies, we've been brothers, and we work really well together with music. But then like once I came here, then every like things changed. Bro, I got so many records with Bangs. It's crazy. Um, and right now, I'm really just focused on working like with him. Like there's just so much to do, especially
Hmm.
with his album. So I still do stuff like solo stuff like when I get the time. It's all already like I just got a whole plan kind of put into play, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So because you came back then, one of my favorite songs within the past couple of years is 47, so Dali with Musiala, Mist,
Yeah,
Bangles.
so
Were you
uh
here for that period as well?
yeah.
Okay, we did you?
So
Sorry,
this is what happened. This is so when I first flew over here, it was supposed to, like I said, it was supposed to be for like a week, and it ended up being like 3 weeks. At that same time, Sidhu started a tour in America, which the people that were throwing the tour, like I knew them really well. And then Amr was on the tour as well too. Shout out to Jock Entertainment and Amr obviously. And that tour started, and like I went to like the first show with them or whatever in like LA. I didn't even see Sidhu or nothing. They're like, yo, we gotta introduce you to Sidhu, bro. Like I was like, bro, it happened. Like it happened, bro. It's not that big of a deal. Like obviously I wanted to work with them, but I'm not gonna like man's on tour. He's just starting his tour in a different country. Like that's a lot of stress, bro.
yeah.
People just don't know. So I didn't want to like jump into his face. It's all good. So I fly out to London, and while I'm in London, Umar starts texting me. He's like, "Yo, bro, we got a situation with with this one record again, because that record, Flop Song, was originally a different record. It was fully done with Umar, and
Right.
and we just had some issues with it already. And then he texted me. I'm like, damn, what the fuck happened to the song now? He's like, bro, Sidhu. Like, long story short, Sidhu wants to jump on it. I was like, oh damn. I was like, well, let's let's do that. That's for sure. So when I came back from London after those 3 weeks, I jumped on tour with them. And Sidhu already knew who I was, so he was excited to meet me. I was excited to meet him. And then once I met him, and even when I was in London, I remember like getting those texts, and at the same time, Bays had actually hit up Sidhu too, and they're talking about linking up too, and I was like, bro, like it was crazy how the world worked. I'm like, yo, well, I just got a record with Sidhu too, and he was like, damn, that's dope. Like he was like, damn, that's a hard record because they went and recorded it in L.A. while
Mhm.
they're on tour, and they sent me it, and bro, it was fire. Like it was
Yeah.
a floss song. But so when I went back on tour, I'm like, Sidhu, bro, like you think this like I was like, yeah, of course this record's hard. I was like, you gotta fuck with Steels too. I was like, that's where I just came back from. So they're already talking, but then like when I went on tour with them, I was like, yo, listen to Miss, bro. You sound raw with Miss, bro. Listen to this, that. I was like, Bangs, bro, Bangs will plug it in with everything, bro. Like let's do it. So
Yeah.
then uh we all linked up in Toronto after the tour for like Sidhu's birthday, and Bangs flew over because he was like, "Yo, let's get this record done."
Mm.
So then I wasn't actually in the session for 47 when 47 recorded, but to what I remember, Bangs said he made the beat pretty quick, which is not something surprising. It's just a banger ass beat, bro. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he makes the beat and then boom, uh, out comes 47, bro. And then like when I came back to London, we sat around and like kind of mixed it down for like 2.5, 3 weeks, whatever. Because it was a single and it was big. And we had to plan out the music video. So like I was in like the mixing sessions and stuff, which is normal for me to do. And like like helping out with like certain stuff here and there because Amma was with me too when I came back this time, and a few of my other homies. So like we're all like already all in like the Indian scene, so we can give them like just like tidbits of information. But beyond that, that that was how 47 happened. I mean, I don't want to give all the full story of 47 away because it's not mine to tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, not like it's just this is a bang record. It was originally, to what I remember, it was originally Sidhu and Miss because Miss had flew over to obviously Miss had flew over to Toronto too, and then yeah, bro, just 47 popped off and everything was good, man.
Yeah.
Once you make the hit record, like especially when you fly somewhere, whatever, it's all tense. But once you make the hit record, everything is just peaches.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's interesting to hear the backstory because it was, as you say, such a like a banger. It was
Yeah,
really high in the charts in like the English mainstream charts, like the capital charts over here, as you know, and in like I think Britasia it was like pretty much up there for like a year. Do you know what I mean? Like it's number one,
yeah,
which was
nah, it's a
crazy.
big record. It still bangs, bro. It's a big record.
100%. But even like the build up, like, because I think the good thing about that song was that Mist and like as you say, Steel Bangles were sort of on the rise
Yeah,
prior to that, and then coming to that point, like they were rapidly getting to like a mainstream sort of like attention. Like Mist had his album out and bangers, and then obviously because of that, everyone knew Steel Bangles. But then on the flip side of Punjab, as you say, like I think it's around the time that PBX1 came out for Musiala,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
he's like right up there, and then to clash the two genres together was just like a really good sort of melting
yeah,
pot
yeah,
moment,
yeah.
like two
Nah,
words colliding.
it was the perfect collab. It went
Yeah.
off. Mm, I mean, when you got just true artists in the studio, bro, something good's gonna come out, and that's what happened. A huge record came out, and that's that.
100%. I thought I'd just ask on the off chance, to be fair, but I'm quite happy that like the story behind it came out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now me and Bane's been rocking for a minute, bro.
Yeah, that's proper dope, to be fair. And so yeah, and going back to like the UK scene when you were over here and you're working closely with Bangles, now obviously in your Instagram bio and in the introduction to this, I said that you were the VP of Gifted Music. Um, what is Gifted Music?
It's a record label, bro. Well, like, I mean, you don't see 2021. Like, once the album's released and you see how moves are made and what we do. Other than that, like, we just keep it silent until we do it, because
Yeah,
there's a lot happening behind the scenes. But right now, really, all I'm focused on that has to do everything with gifted music, obviously, is Bengals' album. Like, that's my main focus right now. Everything else is happening at its own pace. It's happening well, but the main focus is just his album at the moment.
yeah.
And
Um,
then you'll, and then everything else is gonna just like start like kind of unraveling by 2021. You know, like Corona ain't no joke, man.
yeah, yeah.
It's done some crazy things to this industry.
Because the album was actually supposed to come out this year, but
Yeah, it was. But I mean, Corona literally delayed the situation. I had to fly back home for a while. Then even when I came back and forth, it was sticky. Um, and then yeah, that's that's it, bro. But I mean, it's coming out. We're working hard on it. That's just the main focus right now for me right now. And then, like I said, I just don't like to give away too much information. I like
yeah,
to kind of do the thing and then show you everyone.
let's talk more action.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. Um, I had a few more questions, but I feel like I'm not going to get too much out of you in terms of the album then.
It's not like it's not my place to tell you.
Yeah,
Like, to
true.
be honest with you, that's the nah. I'm not shut
Tight-lipped.
on the album, yeah, bro. Because I don't want to ruin the experience for nobody. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
we really like I could talk to you about how much time and effort we put into it. I mean, and my wife can attest to that. Like,
Yeah,
uh, but beyond that, I don't want to ruin the experience for the consumer, bro. Like, we're building an experience with this album. Like, it's a big body of work. It's the debut album from Bengals, and I mean, bro, like, the man's an amazing producer, and he's about to show levels with it. Like, we worked really, really hard on this. We've been working on it for time. There's a docu film coming along with it. That's gonna be amazing. Like, man's put a lot of P behind it, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of thought process. A lot of people are behind it, and even like I don't, I don't know what the docu film's name is, but it's basically, you know, an emphasis on, this is just like this is how the story starts, because this is no by no means where we're ending at, but it's a big iconic piece,
yeah.
and that's why a man's got to keep his lips tight.
Hmm. Yeah, I respect that, so I'll not ask too many more questions on it. And again, the reason I ask it is because, like I've said throughout and beforehand, like I'm a fan of what you do. Do you know what I mean? I'm a fan of music, so when I
Yeah,
see like the little snippets coming out, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
do you know what I
Nah,
mean? Your brain goes racing.
yeah, nah. It's gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah, definitely. You know how to get like interaction up and interest there, because as I say, like you see little segments, I'm like, I want to know what that is. I want to know.
That's the bet. Yeah, that's good to know, bro.
Yes,
Stay
it's definitely
tuned
working. Your master plan's definitely working. In
in.
terms of a VP, so like a vice president of a music label, like my mind, maybe this is me just in La La Land or something, but in my mind it's some guy in like a ivory tower in New York, some rich white guy in Sony Universal or something, just telling everyone what to do and
Yeah.
stuff. So what is like the reality of like
Well, the
what's your
thing
day to
is
day?
about gifted music, it's a label run by musicians. Like, we're musicians. I'm a musician. I'm an artist at first. Uh, So it's just a different way of doing things, bro. Like it's a more a different approach. It's an approach that's got the music in mind. Music is key. Music is like that's the number one thing. So yeah, life is very like it's different here.
Yeah.
It's not the norm. It's not what you expect.
Is there a lot of artists already signed up to Gifted? I'm not too like I try to look online and stuff, but I can't really find too much about it. As you say, you like to keep things private, so okay, you still can't talk, right? Okay. For anybody who's just listening, he's saying that his mouth is zipped on that one, so can't ask too many questions. Right, okay, so I'm
Y'all
gonna have to
see,
get.
man. You'll see. You'll see.
We'll see.
Twenty twenty one is gonna be a big opening up. You guys just don't why ruin the experience, man?
Right,
Enjoy
okay,
it. Enjoy it. It's entertainment.
definitely, definitely. Um, and the other thing I was gonna ask was or sort of an observation would be because you're a producer yourself, Bangles is a producer. Um, there's a few in my mind where like obviously artists, the vocalists have a lot of power and a lot of pull in the music industry. They're like the famous names if you want. But was always like I think DJ Khaled was the first guy to sort of put the producer first, the producer sort of album. Maybe even Scott Storch way back in the day, but even he was a bit low key. DJ Khaled's the one where he's every single song you hear the producer tag. He's got his own album. Then you've got Steel Bangles and a lot of the missed songs you hear the Steel Bangles. You've got even Mani Sandhu, sort of on a similar line. Um, what sort of like I don't know how to word this correctly. Is like, do you think that's the way forward now? Is that producers are going to start having more of their own pull and attraction?
Yeah, producer is becoming more of an artist now. I mean, it it goes back to time, yeah, but it's definitely bigger now. Like one name you forgot to mention is Dre. Dr. Dre
The
was a
biggest
big one.
name.
Yeah,
Shit,
exactly.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like yeah, Khaled is someone that's big on making how like showing how important a tag is. But really, if you kind of look at like Khaled is an artist. Like he doesn't just say we the best or DJ Khaled. That's not his only thing. He says his piece on it, bro. He he's a smart dude. If you really look at it, like his he had a very calculated, like smart way how to do it. But I mean, it's not entirely true because he's the only like he's the first one that made it big, bro. Back in the day in New York music, like DJ Cool, like this a lot of people have done this, bro.
Hmm.
It's just the first one that made it really big off of it was Khaled,
Right.
and that for his own reasons, and and that's like, but at the end of the day, it's a producer tag, and it's a big thing now. It's a big thing for Bangs. Obviously, Steel Bangles, like he has
Yeah.
his tag. Uh,
That was a very good rendition of Steel Bangles.
I've heard it so many times, um, but I kind of grew up like not liking tags. Like I'm my one of my biggest my favorite producers. One of them, like growing up was Kanye West.
Hmm.
Like so and at the end of the day, it just depends on your artistry. But yeah, no, it's a bigger thing, and it's good, bro. Producers deserve their fair share, bro. Like they make the record.
Yeah, yeah.
No
100%.
offense, but
100%. Because like I will probably be the minority here, but a lot of the time I listen to producers more than I do artists, if that makes sense. So like when a producer comes out with something, I'm like, oh, I
yeah,
like that producer. I like the music he makes. Because I don't know how you feel about this, but like mumble rap and things like that, like half of the time, sometimes you can't even understand the lyrics. Do you know what I mean? But if the beat's good, you're still drawn to the
yeah, yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah,
So I end up following a lot of producers. So I'm like, oh, when Manny comes out with a track, I listen to that. When Steel Bangles comes out with a track,
yeah,
like there's a few kids in India at the moment. Well actually, Ikwinder Singh's from Toronto, but
yeah,
Punjabi
yeah, yeah, yeah,
music,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Yeah, Icky's cold. Yeah, yeah,
Icky's really, yeah, I really really like him, and the kid. works with Sidhu a
Yeah,
lot.
Kid is cold too.
Yeah. So like when they come out with tracks, like because they'll end up working with some random artist, but even I'll listen to that track because I'm just like I like
Yeah, there
the
you go.
music he
Like they're
makes.
producing the record. They're telling you who to listen to. But I mean, it's just, bro, it's just art. Like there's multiple ways to make a good record.
Hmm.
That's how it is. And there's a lot of records, like so many records that you can just say are solely those records because the vocalist that's on there, like the way they're spinning it, whatever. But man, just I don't even like this is too deep to get into. Like at the end of the day, I just enjoy the music. Uh, everyone that's it should just like it's an even playing battlefield. Really, that's what any that's what the music industry is kind of starting to get into more and more.
Hmm.
Uh, like with social media, with the tags, with producers putting records together, like how real like a real producer like puts I want to hear him and him together, etc. That's someone that's producing a record. So that's an art, bro. Like more music, the better. That's really what it is. The more music, the better. If you got more music, there's gonna be more people harnessing and mastering their way of making a record, and then you just get a wider selection.
Definitely. Plus, it's like everybody's got their own sound as well. So like
Yeah.
the Canadian Punjabi sound is vastly different to UK garage bhangra from 10, 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
which is vastly different to
100%.
folk Punjabi, but they all sound really good.
Yeah.
A couple of podcasts ago now, um, but is this Munda from Melbourne in Australia called K Atwal Music. I'm not sure if you know who he is.
Nah, I haven't heard of them.
He's sick to be fair.
I bet.
He's like EDM trap house style Punjabi
Killed it.
music, but it's like that sort of sound is from his environment. Do you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that's even different to the Canadian and the American and the UK. It's like an Australian sort of vibe on that. So
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
all cool. Towards the end, what I like to do is quick fire questions. But just before we enter quick fire questions, question that I would like to ask you for on a producer side of thing, because I asked you earlier on who you were listening to artist wise, but producers, who do you think your biggest influences are in terms of like Western producers and Eastern producers? So Punjabi style producers, and then I know you said Western before, you said Kanye West, but a few other names.
Yeah. Kanye definitely was really big for me. I used to just break down his music. I would just listen to it all the time. 40 is a big like uh, like 40 is like shaped sound like crazy. Like, Toronto has a sound. Dre obviously, Bengals, bro. Bengals, bro. He's up there. Um, and then for like Western music, Punjabi MC. Uh, Sixteen Shinda used to be cold back in the day,
Yeah,
bro. I'll be real with you. I'm in here. I thought was gonna have like a much bigger impact, but like he's cold too. Um, and then uh, bro, I can't believe
Zeus.
this. It, dude's like name is slipping out my head right now. Uh, fuck's sake. Oh
What
boy,
songs did he produce?
uh, he did that one record, one album with the G, True
True
School,
School. Yeah,
True
yeah,
School. They're cold. I mean, he's cold, bro. True
yeah. True
School's
School's right up
cold.
there for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, he's making a full album with Conan Ardula soon.
I bet it's gonna be cold.
That would be dope. That would be
Yeah.
dope. And just to finish up, then, what I like to do is everyone is quick fire questions. So it's just like 5 questions at the end that I've asked everybody so far. If
Alright,
that's cool with you.
good.
So the first one is, what are you most proud of so far?
What am I most proud of so far? I don't know, bro. I'm proud of a lot of things. Like I can't pick one. Yeah, let's say um proud of proud of my marriage, proud of my wife.
Is that because you're
Go
saying me
girl.
in the background?
Yeah. Nah, she deserves it. That's my star.
And what are you most looking forward to?
What am I most looking forward to right now? It's a surprise. Like it's a personal thing that I'm looking most forward to that I'd rather not speak about. But the album too. That like I can't wait till this album's out, bro. Can't wait till Bangles is out. Not it's up. It's a madness.
Yeah. What are you? What is your biggest motivation?
My family,
Sick. What is your definition of success?
doing what you love, confidently believing in yourself, and being about like a big part of doing what you love is making it financially like as a man at least you want to be financially secure off of what you're doing, so that's a big part of it. Yeah, that's it. That's my success. So like, yeah, I look, money ain't everything, but you got to use it as some type of barometer on how successful you are.
100%. And last but not least, because it's the KultureKast podcast, how do you think your culture has affected you thus far?
In every way, like my culture is rooted with me. I see like my culture is full of struggle, bro. Like you know it, we know it, we all know it. We see what the farmers in Punjab are going through at the moment, but this is nothing new.
Hmm.
Uh, and this is that struggle. Let's keep it 100 and let's keep it pure. It's straight about the farmers. It's not because there's farmers that are being done wrong that are not even from Punjab. It's all over India, but a lot of them are Punjabi. A lot of them are Jack.
Yeah,
But that's just a like another piece of proof, another piece of evidence that just shows you how much struggle that's in this culture. It's a beautiful culture. It's not all about struggle, obviously, but due to the times, the times that we're in at the moment, that's a that's the part that I would like to shed light on because it's important at the moment.
definitely, definitely. Couldn't agree more. And yeah, thank you very much for your time again. That's all the quickfire questions. That's been the podcast. Your boy A Sing Music. All of his Insta and his Twitter will be in the description below. And yeah, thank you for coming on.
All right, broski, stay safe.